Howdy folks, welcome. If you've been following the channel for a while, you'd know that I've always shot people and I shoot a lot of artistic portraiture, let's phrase it that way. And I have a school teaching that kind of work. So I've just released a new course that covers new territory that I've never covered before in more detail. And in fact, I don't think anyone has done a comprehensive course of this kind on this topic. So before I get into this, I should say up front, I'm choosing my words in this video very carefully. And that's intentional. I'm using a script even for a change, because some of what this course covers sits in a space that requires a lot of discretion on platforms like YouTube and social media. In fact, just mentioning some of the different websites that I'm teaching about in this course can cause you issues or, get you shadow banned. So it's crazy, but true. So please read between the lines a little bit, and if you want the full, completely clear overview that's laid out properly on the website, uncut, intended for a mature audience with previews and everything, you can see details in the link tree below. Now, the reason I made this course is pretty simple. Over the last few years, 5, 6, 7 years, I've had a lot of photographers and creators ask me similar questions, not just about the shooting process, but about the platforms, the rules and the pricing and safety and how it works long term without creating problems, and kind of what the trade-offs are, how to get started and how to thrive. Now, most of the information out there is either vague or overhyped, or it skips over the uncomfortable areas, the gray areas. I really wanted to make something that reflects the reality, that covers the entire process and is honest. And in the process, introduce you to some really great creators in this space. So this isn't a single photo shoot, and it's definitely no kind of promise of instant overnight success. It's a walkthrough on the entire process of filming and photographing modern creator-led content. From the planning and production side of things through to publishing, pricing, and getting paid, with a strong emphasis on creativity and professionalism. So what is the course? It brings you along on 9 complete photo shoots with different established content creators. Some of them are familiar faces and some are new to the community, our community, but they're quite famous in this industry. Now, I'm being super careful with the video that I'm including in this video. Again, if you want to see the full picture of this program, what it really includes, full behind the scenes with everything that you could want to know to make sure that this is the right course for you, check out the link tree below. Now, a big part of this course looks at how subscription-based platforms work and what they are or what your options are. So running through the major different sites, how they differ, what they're good at, what people tend to get caught on with them. We also go through things like policy change and payment processes, and the fact that some things matters a lot more than you might realize, and the risks involved. If everything you do live on one platform, for example, that's a big risk. Understanding that early is going to make a big difference on how you approach this kind of work and set up right. It kind of sounds so icky, but the term setting up for success is really the case. On the production side, as I mentioned, I show you a variety of different shoots and approaches to shooting. It's not just one aesthetic and it's not just one way of working. The focus is on planning properly, building variety, and understanding how different concepts affect both the creative side and the commercial side. Because when you're working really closely with your subject, the preparation and communication matter a lot more than people might expect. The overarching principles of this course are shooting within the limits of the creator's existing content and bringing your creativity into the process to elevate it, and then making a variety of different levels of content on the one shoot that can be shared, say, to social media, to create leads and to find fans, and then on to other social media where you're allowed to show and share a bit more, to tease what's going to be on the social member platforms, through to things that are only suitable for the members of those paid subscription sites, and then even shooting pay-per-view type content at the highest level. As well as the 9 shoots, it also has a whole bunch of general information that will help you get started, as well as a couple of bonuses. One spontaneous video shoot with 2 female content creators, as well as a Polaroid shoot with a creator star here in Hong Kong that has a setup sales funnel that works off shooting with Polaroids. I also talk through some difficult to discuss but often thought about and question that I often get but people feel shy to ask, like how do you remain professional and calm and cool on these kinds of charged shoots. One of the most important parts of the course, in my opinion, though, is the human side. There's a detailed interview with a creator and model where we talk honestly about their experiences, about collaboration, expectations, communication, what makes a shoot feel safe and respectful. And we address, like I said, those questions that people are often uncomfortable about asking, but are just such a reality of working in this space that it's, I think, important. It's not framed for shock or drama value, just as a professional conversation that I think needs to exist out there for everyone in this space to be comfortable with the work they're doing. Now, for those wanting to make this a business, we also spend time on pricing and publishing strategy, not in a hype, frat boy style where we're slinging Bitcoin and trying to make you overnight millionaires with unrealistic promises, but I'm actually talking you through how creators actually in 2025, 2026 structure subscriptions, how premium content's being priced, how posting timing and cadence affects retention, and how people refine their approach over time. And I'm not just giving general, 101 things. We're talking actual numbers and actual strategy and breaking it down by the different platforms of what's working in 2025. The goal isn't to chase, spikes or 1 month of good revenue, but to build something that's sustainable and doesn't collapse under the amount of work that it requires to keep it all up. Now, as I said, the course isn't for everyone. If you're not interested in shooting this kind of higher level content, it's not going to be for you. If you want to shoot the content but aren't looking to make it a business, it is for you. And if you want to shoot it and build it into a business, it definitely is. This is aimed at photographers, videographers, and creators who are either already working in this space or have experience in kind of adjacent industries who are considering whether they should go into this, who want a clear and honest view of what's involved, what the different things they need to think about before getting started are, and the entire shooting process. It's not, however, for people who are not okay with this style of content, for people who aren't already experienced at shooting, or who are getting into it for the wrong reason. You'll note that I've kept things very careful in what I'm saying here. It's just the reality of talking about these kind of topics on YouTube. This is about working with creators who are leading their own content, who have their own vision, who've set up businesses and pipelines that may seem spontaneous, but actually require quite a bit of planning, and working with them respectfully to create great, fun, exciting content that both of you are able to potentially use and sell and generate an income from. As I said, it goes to different areas and different levels than I've ever shot in a course before. And we have to be careful about how we talk about it here. On the website, everything's explained really clearly and without restriction, including the full outline, sample material, kind of clips and photos, and you'll see everything there. If you've picked up what I'm laying down in this video and you've read between the lines, and that's where you'll want to go next. Check out the full web page. The creator course, as I'm calling it, is on a big sale right now, so take your time, read through the web page, think about if it's right for you, and if it is, you can grab that sale whilst it's still on over New Year's. Cheers, guys. Thanks, and I'm sorry for being so vague about this. It's just how it is in this kind of biz. Thanks. Let me know any questions you have, and Happy New Year.